Hello, race fans, and welcome to the 2007 MSDGC. I'm Steve Dodge, and we've got a logjam. The third round is traditionally known as Moving Day, and with 24 players within 6 strokes of the lead, I suspect it's going to be a busy day. Get your sofas in order, grab your drinks and sit down and enjoy the show. After 2 rounds of play, Michael Johansen, coming at us from Raleigh, North Carolina, has put himself in the lead with his impressive putting. He sits at -3. Tied with Michael Johansen at -3 is Kale Leiviska. Kale is from St. Paul, Minnesota. It's just fun watching how much power he can get on that disc. At Pro Worlds, his big drives and solid putts landed him in 3rd place. It will be exciting to see if he can make a run at the Maple Pyramid here at the MSDGC.
Wow.
One shot off the pace is a New England native from Frizzak Nation. Sjur Soleng graces the top 10. His big drives and rainbow putts have put him in a position to win this thing. It will be interesting to see if he can hold it together through the next 2 rounds to make a run. I expect a lot of locals will be pulling for the ZZ. Tied with Sjur, 1 shot off the lead is John Fowler, coming at us from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. John makes disc golf look pretty easy with his nice smooth release and his magical putts. My favorite story about John at this year's MSDGC was when he tried to help Karen sort and carry the trash. She told him, "No, we're not used to Southern gentlemen." Southern Nationals land says hello and good luck to you, John. 2 shots off the pace is Geoff Bennett from Canton, Michigan. The most money Geoff had won coming into this event this year was $662, placing 13th at Pro Worlds. With his big flicks and big putts, he is on pace to top that this year's MSDGC. Tied with Geoff, 2 shots off the pace, is Justin Bunnell from St. Louis, Missouri. Justin's got all the skills needed to beat anybody here at the MSDGC. And sitting at only 2 shots off the pace, with 2 rounds to go, he is in contention. Nathan Krahn.
That is. Nice putt. Good touch.
Eddie Ogburn. Kyle Enman.
Great putt.
And Pete Johnson round out the top 10. Let's watch a recap of some of the highlights of round 3. We start action of the 3rd round with Kale Leiviska on the tee. After watching Michael Johansen get in trouble hitting the first Guardian V tree, Kale knows he's going to try to pull it right of that tree and have it fade back left for a shot at birdie. Sjur Soleng hit a tree late. He should have an easy up and down for 3, and we go to John Fowler. In trouble off the tee. Here's John Fowler's 2nd shot. He's going to have a tough up and down for bogey from there. Very tough lie. He's going to try a flick around the trees. Saves the bogey. We go to Kale with his birdie putt. That puts Kale in the lead at -4. Going to the 2nd card, we jump to Justin Bunnell's birdie putt. Count it. And Geoff Bennett, who also got in trouble off the tee, has this for par. So going into the 2nd hole, John Fowler and Geoff Bennett, joined by Nathan Krahn and Pete Johnson, all lose 2 strokes to Kale Leiviska after he hit that big birdie putt. Justin Bunnell keeps pace and moves into 3rd. On holes 2 through 5, which we'll call Birdie Alley Part 1, Kale Leiviska misses 2 opportunities for birdies on holes 2 and 4. He cards the birdie on hole 5 after throwing his drive way right with a great putt, and cards the birdie on 6 with this drive. That puts him at -7 through 6 holes in the 3rd round.
Right there, Joe.
Sjur Soleng playing some hot golf through Birdie Alley Part 1, cards the easy deuce on hole 2. He's got a tough shot for birdie on hole 3. Round the horn.
Yes, sir.
On hole 4, a scary putt with a big hill behind the basket. Easy money. He hits the putt on hole 5 and parks hole 6 to complete the sweep. He's -7. After the first 6 holes in round 3, Sjur Soleng is tied for the lead. Justin Bunnell playing on the second card. Birdie on hole 2. Follows that by parking hole 3. And on hole 4, leaves himself this challenging putt. Birdie putt on 5, birdie putt on 6. Justin Bunnell also completes the sweep and is tied with Sjur and Kale for first through 6 holes in the 3rd round. Michael Johansen, who started the day tied for first, cards the birdie on hole 2 and has this birdie putt on hole 3.
Oh.
And we go to hole 4. Beautiful drive by Michael Johansen. Another easy deuce. After throwing his drive short on hole 5, carding a bogey 4, Michael Johansen quickly erases that with the birdie on 6. He sits at -5 through 6 holes in the 3rd round, currently in 4th place. John Fowler, our Southern Nationals fave, hits the birdie on hole 2 and has this for birdie on hole 3. A great run by John to save par on hole 3. Little body English, no problem. Hits the putt on hole 4 and jump putts hole 5.
Come on.
Through the first 6 holes, John Fowler, -5, tied with Michael Johansen in 4th. And we go to Geoff Bennett. After bogeying the first hole, he follows up with a birdie on 2 and parks hole 3. He has this putt for birdie on hole 4. A great run off the top. Geoff throws his drive on hole 5 a bit low, kicks left under the bridge, just inbounds, has a very tricky putt for birdie. And with this drive on hole 6, Geoff Bennett birdies 4 of the 5 holes in Birdie Alley Part 1, finishing up at -4, good enough for 6th place. We move on to holes 7 through 11, Birdie Alley Part 2, with Kale, Sjur, and Justin trying to pull away from the rest of the pack. They all sit at -7, Michael Johansen and John Fowler just 2 strokes back at -5. Kale gets the deuce on hole 7 with that nice drive, and gets in a bit of trouble on hole 8.
Aw. I didn't want to say anything.
Watch this run at birdie.
Wow.
Here's his drive on hole 9. Another easy birdie. And he kicks right on hole 10, getting in a little bit of trouble again. Watch this birdie putt. Hole 11, he skips off the top for the easy birdie. Kale sweeps Birdie Alley Part 2, finishing at -12 through 11 holes. We jump to John Fowler now, who parks hole 7. That's a nice drop in. And on the very tricky hole 8, John hits the gap, flies high, rolls down, another drop-in putt.
Nice shot.
And on hole 9, you got it, another drop-in putt. After missing the birdie on hole 10, here's John Fowler on hole 11. After bogeying hole 1, John has birdied 8 of the next 10 holes. After birdieing the first 6 holes, Justin Bunnell keeps it going with this birdie on hole 7. On hole 8, his fortunes change. He kicks way left and has this tough second shot to try to save any chance at par.
Great shot.
Call it a par. And on hole 9, Justin Bunnell sets his drive up 30 feet left, pin high. Here's the birdie putt that changed his round. Birdie to bogey. Justin bounces back with a birdie on hole 10, but those 2 strokes cost him. He moves down to 3rd place at -8 through 11 holes. Geoff Bennett, meanwhile, gains some ground on Justin, birdieing 4 of the 5 holes, parking hole 7, getting the par on hole 8, and following that up with this drive on hole 9. On hole 10, Geoff gets in a little trouble as he throws it low and kicks left. He's got this putt for birdie. He gets the birdie on hole 11 to sit at -8 through 11 holes, putting him in 3rd place. Sjur Soleng cards just 1 deuce on Birdie Alley Part 2, holes 7 through 11, losing 4 strokes to Kale and falling to 3rd place. He's at -8 through 11 holes. Michael Johansen also struggles on Birdie Alley Part 2, carding birdies on hole 9 and hole 10. Although I have to admit, I wouldn't mind struggling like that. Michael Johansen finds himself in 6th place at -7 through 11 holes. So through 11 holes in round 3, Kale Leiviska has opened his lead to 3 over John Fowler. Geoff Bennett, Sjur Soleng, and Justin Bunnell are all 1 shot behind John at -8, and Michael Johansen falls to 6th place, 5 shots out of the lead. We go to Amen Corner, holes 12 through 14, with Kale in a little bit of trouble off his drive. A beautiful second shot saves his par on hole 12. He gets the birdie on hole 13, drops in his par on hole 14. He is 13 under par going into the final 4 holes of round 3. Geoff Bennett, meanwhile, gets the birdie 3 on hole 12. In a little bit of trouble on hole 13.
What? Good job, man.
Can't punch his approach through, manages to save par, gets par on hole 14. He sits at -9 through 14 holes. Justin Bunnell, after bogeying hole 12, gets in trouble on his drive on hole 13. Here's his second shot to give himself a shot at birdie.
Yeah.
Pars hole 14 and sits at -8 with 4 holes to go. Michael Johansen gets the par on hole 12, follows that with a nice drive on hole 13 for the birdie, and nullifies it with a bogey on 14. He stays at -7. And Sjur Soleng, after bogeying hole 12, has to get this close for any chance at a par on hole 13. After bogeying hole 14, he sits at -6 with 4 holes to go. So with 4 holes to play in the 3rd round, Kale Leiviska is comfortably in the lead at 13 under par. Geoff Bennett, John Fowler tied at 9 under par, Justin Bunnell 8 under, Michael Johansen, Sjur Soleng, Eddie Ogburn all hoping for a shot at that lead card. Kale gets the birdie on hole 15. After parring hole 16, here's his drive on hole 17. It's a nice shot, gets a bad kick, that costs him a stroke. Kale birdies out on hole 18 to finish at 15 under par going into the final round. After parring hole 15, here's Geoff Bennett's drive on hole 16. A good pull, turns right. He's left with this for birdie. Geoff gets the birdie on hole 17 with this drive. Also gets the birdie on 18. He twos out the last 3 holes to finish at -12 and secure his spot on the lead card. John Fowler now gets the deuce on hole 15. Also gets the birdie on holes 17 and 18. He too finishes at 12 under par and is on the lead card. With just one spot left open on the lead card, here's Justin Bunnell's birdie putt on 16. He bounces back with birdies on 17 and 18 to finish at 10 under par. Michael Johansen can still catch him by birdieing out. After parring hole 15, here's Michael Johansen's drive on hole 16. That turns, fades out left a bit early. That's a par on hole 16, and here's his drive on 17. A very unfortunate kick left. He's got this left for birdie. He hits the birdie on 17. He hits the birdie on 18. Michael Johansen finishes -9 going into the fourth round. One stroke off the lead card. And we go to Sjur Soleng. After parring hole 15, the best Sjur can do is -9 if he birdies out. Here's his drive on hole 16. That's a beautiful drive. Sjur Soleng has got an ace. That is the most beautiful shot in MSDGC history. Unbelievable shot. That shot rivals Steve Brinster's $500 ace, Ron Russell's par save on hole 18 in 2004. Unbelievable shot by Sjur Soleng. Let's watch that thing hit the basket like butter tagging a warm muffin. Sjur goes on to birdie holes 17 and 18, throwing 5 throws in his last 3 holes. He ends the third round at -10, one shot better than Michael Johansen, tied with Justin Bunnell for 4th. Justin will get the spot on the lead card due to a better round this round, but a great finish by Sjur Soleng. Frizzak Nation is in the house.